Hi, my name is Brian. I grew up in Litchfield County, Connecticut, and was born in 1978 to a Slavic family. My childhood was far from ordinary, and as I look back, I realize I faced challenges that set me apart from other kids. I didn't always fit in, and I had my own struggles, some of which I didn't even understand at the time. This is the beginning of my story, a journey through the ups and downs of growing up a little different, and how those early years shaped who I am today. From an early age, I noticed I wasn't quite like the other kids. I didn't always understand why, but I knew I saw the world a little differently. Sometimes, that meant I struggled with things others found easy, and it made me feel isolated. But it also gave me a unique perspective, and I learned to adapt in my own ways. My family, rooted in Slavic traditions, provided a strong foundation, but school was a different world altogether. It was a place where differences stood out, and not always in a good way. Like many kids, I encountered bullies at school. It's something that hasn't changed much over the years, kids picking on those who seem different or vulnerable. For me, the experience was especially tough because I was the smallest kid in my class. Even though I was of average height for my age, I was often singled out. The bullying wasn't just from kids my own age. Sometimes it came from much older students, which made it feel even more unfair. One bully in particular stands out in my memory. He was in 8th grade, while I was just a first grader. The age and size difference was huge, and it made the situation feel impossible to handle. I often wondered how it could be fair for someone so much older and bigger to pick on someone like me. But that was the reality I faced, and it forced me to think creatively about how to protect myself. Despite being the smallest kid in class, I had one advantage: speed. I was extremely fast, and that gave me a sense of confidence, even when I felt outmatched in other ways. My quickness became my secret weapon, something I could rely on when things got tough. It's funny how sometimes the things that make us different can also be our greatest strengths. One day, I was watching a television documentary about tribes and how they made weapons from sticks like spears. The creativity and resourcefulness of those tribes fascinated me. It sparked an idea in my mind. Maybe I could use something similar to defend myself. Sometimes, inspiration comes from the most unexpected places, and for me, it was a TV show that planted the seed for what would happen next. After watching that documentary, I started thinking about how I could use sticks to protect myself from the bully. I wanted to be prepared the next time he tried to pick on me. I found two sturdy hardwood sticks, about the width of a large marker, and carefully broke them from branches. I sharpened both ends, just in case I needed to use either side. It was a bold plan, but I felt it was necessary to stand up for myself. The bully and I rode the same school bus, which meant I couldn't avoid him. Every day, I felt a mix of anxiety and determination as I prepared for what might happen. I kept the sticks hidden in my pockets, waiting for the right moment. The bus ride became a test of nerves, but I was ready to stand my ground if I had to. One day, the moment finally came. Before the bully had a chance to attack me, I pulled out the two sharpened sticks, one from each pocket. I moved quickly, not giving him any time to react. My speed caught him off guard, and I used the sticks to defend myself. It was a dramatic moment, and everything happened so fast. For the first time, I felt like I had some control over the situation. My speed was my greatest asset. I moved as quickly as I could, channeling the energy and agility I'd always relied on. It was almost like something out of a martial arts movie, using quick movements to outmaneuver someone much bigger. In that moment, I realized that being small didn't have to mean being powerless. The confrontation left its mark. The bully was shocked, and so was I. There were visible signs of the struggle, holes in his clothes, scratches, and even some blood. I never expected things to escalate that far, but in the heat of the moment, I did what I felt was necessary to protect myself. The experience was intense and left both of us changed. What surprised me most was the bully's reaction. For someone who always acted tough, he ended up crying after the incident. It was a powerful moment that showed me even the strongest-looking people have vulnerabilities. The tough guy image faded away, and for the first time I saw him as just another kid, not so different from me. After the incident, the bully actually complained to my family about what I had done. I found it ironic that he would go to the adults for help after all the times he'd picked on me. My family listened to his side of the story, but they also understood why I did what I did. It was a complicated situation, but it taught me a lot about standing up for myself and dealing with consequences. Looking back, I realized that moment was a turning point for me. It wasn't just about defending myself physically. It was about finding my voice and learning to stand up for what's right. The experience gave me a new sense of confidence, and I started to believe in my own strength, even when things seemed overwhelming. After that day, the bully never bothered me again. It was as if a line had been drawn, and he knew I wasn't someone to mess with anymore. The fear and anxiety I used to feel started to fade, replaced by a sense of peace. I learned that sometimes standing up for yourself is the only way to change things. As I reflect on my childhood, I see how those early experiences shaped who I am today. The challenges I faced taught me resilience and resourcefulness. I learned to trust my instincts and to find creative solutions to difficult problems. Those lessons have stayed with me throughout my life. Every challenge I faced as a child made me stronger. I learned that it's okay to be different, and that our differences can be our greatest strengths. The experiences that once made me feel isolated eventually became the foundation for my confidence and determination. My family played a big role in helping me through tough times. Their support and understanding gave me the courage to face my challenges head-on. Even when things were difficult, I knew I wasn't alone. Family can be a powerful source of strength, especially when you're growing up. Finding creative solutions became a theme in my life. Whether it was coming up with a plan to defend myself or finding new ways to fit in, creativity helped me navigate the challenges I faced. It's a skill that has served me well, not just in childhood but throughout my life. Growing up different taught me to appreciate diversity. I learned that everyone has their own struggles and that it's important to be kind and understanding. Those early experiences made me more empathetic and open-minded, qualities that have helped me connect with others. Fear was a big part of my childhood, especially when it came to facing bullies. But each time I stood up for myself, the fear became a little smaller. Over time, I learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, it's taking action in spite of it. Standing up to the bully was about more than just physical defense, it was about finding my voice. I realized I had the power to speak up for myself and set boundaries. That lesson has stayed with me, helping me navigate challenges in all areas of my life. Resilience became one of my greatest strengths. No matter what challenges I faced, I learned to bounce back and keep moving forward. The tough times didn't break me, they made me stronger and more determined to succeed. Going through difficult experiences made me more empathetic toward others. I understood what it felt like to be picked on or left out, and I wanted to make sure others didn't feel the same way. Empathy became a guiding principle in my life. That experience taught me the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult. I learned that sometimes you have to take risks to protect yourself and others. It's a lesson that has guided me through many challenges since then. Learning to defend myself was an important part of my growth. It wasn't just about physical strength. It was about believing in myself and knowing I had the right to stand up for my own well-being. That confidence has carried over into other areas of my life. After that turning point, I started to move forward with a new sense of purpose. The fear and uncertainty I once felt began to fade, replaced by hope and determination. I realized that I could shape my own future, no matter what challenges came my way. My journey didn't end with that one experience. Life continued to present challenges, but I faced them with the lessons I'd learned as a child. Each new obstacle became an opportunity to grow and become stronger. My story is one of resilience, creativity, and the power of standing up for yourself. Now, I want to share my story with others. I hope that by telling what I went through, I can inspire others to stand up for themselves and believe in their own strength. We all face challenges, but we also have the power to overcome them. My story is just one example of what's possible when you refuse to give up. As I look ahead, I'm excited to continue sharing more about my life and the lessons I've learned. Each chapter brings new insights and opportunities for growth. My hope is that others will find encouragement in my journey and remember that it's never too late to stand up for yourself and embrace who you are.